Hello, this is Nina and I'm here to show you all my crystal decks. So if you are interested in oracle cards and crystals, then this is the video for you. So I'm going to go through all of these cards and show you and tell you how I use them and what I think of them, kind of like a little bit of a review. So grab yourself a cup and let's get into it. Okay, so welcome in everybody. I'm just going to put these over here on the left side. And we're going to start with the big box in the middle there for the first deck. Okay, let's get comfy. So the first deck today is the Healing Oracle called Crystal Reading Cards by Rachel Sharman. So this is the box it comes in. From Rockpool Publishing, ISBN, so it's not a indie deck. It's a mass production. So it opens on the side like that. And there is, of course, a guidebook in here. And this is quite a good guidebook. So I'm just going to put the cards aside here. There might have been some insert here, but I sometimes take it away because it's annoying to get them out. So I normally take them out. So there might have been an insert in the box just to have that set. But let's look at the guidebook a little bit. It's really good information. There's 2 pages on each crystal, as you can see, sometimes more than 2 pages. And there is a medicine also that goes with it. So it's a crystal medicine and crystal meaning, and then an oracle meaning. So you can use them as oracle cards, as healing cards, you know, and also more getting to know the crystals a little bit and what they are related to. So it's a very good guidebook, I have to say, okay, this one. So let's put that aside and then we will look at the cards. Put the box aside too. And here we go. So this is the back. I find that quite beautiful. Kind of just a yellow close-up of a yellow crystal, probably maybe a raw citrine or something. And here are the cards. So the cards have the name of the crystal, the picture of the crystal, and then a interpretation or one word for interpretation on the bottom. So quite easy. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can get closer to the cards themselves. There you go. So I'm just going to flip through and then we'll look at them. So these are, for me, quite easy to use in a reading. Because I don't know all the information about all the crystals. So when I have a word or kind of a hint as to what it stands for, it gives me the way in, and then kind of where I need to have my focus. And then, of course, listening to Spirit elaborate on what that means for the person in the reading. That's kind of how I work. I let myself be guided very much by Spirit when I do card readings. But as I said, I don't know everything. I could have done it just intuitively also without. I have some that doesn't have anything. I'll show you later. But since I don't know everything about the crystals, it's nice to have that little information. So, but there are beautiful pictures of all the crystals here. Straight to the point, of course, easy to find also in the guidebook. So that was the cards. Yeah, I really like these cards, but you know, I have so many cards, so I haven't really been able to use them so much. I tend to use, when I see the back and the color of the back, I tend to use them in different times of the year. So this one would be more like a summer deck for me, but that's just me. So that was the Crystals Reading Cards by Rachel Sharman. Okay, let's put that aside and move on to the next one. Now this is an Alana Fairchild deck. She is quite famous for making cards. And this is the Crystal Mandala Oracle. Channel the power of heaven and earth. So she also is a best-selling author of the Kuan Yin Oracle, if you know that one. So This is the box. Let's zoom out a little bit so that I was a little bit too close here. So this is the box, some information, Blue Angel Publishing, and there's an ISBN number, so it's not indie deck, it's mass production. Opens like that, and then I just normally tilt it out like so. It might have been an insert here as well, I don't know, not sure. So this, let's look at the guidebook first. It's a really thick guidebook, this one, people. Lots of information. There's so much information. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of information on one card here. So a lot of information in this book. If you are wanting to know more about both the crystals but also mandala, you know, there's a combination of both in this deck here. And there's also words of wisdom, lots of words of wisdom, channeled information also in this book. So very, how can I say, thoroughly done when it comes to information. So for me, in this particular one, I would just pull one card and then kind of read up on the meaning or the message, kind of, for me. So I haven't used this so much in normal readings, more like pull a card for me kind of thing. That might change after I re-watch this video and see which ones I want to use more. Anyways, let's look at the cards themselves. They are so beautiful. Okay, let's see here. So this is the back. If the colors are not really popping up, it's kind of a dark blue, bluish, blue purplish, I would say. On border on the outside and the golden, and then of course the blue in the middle here. So yeah, very, very beautiful back. Now these are the cards. So yeah, it's also as you can see, it's also connected to archangels or goddesses, angels, ascended masters as well. So you have that first, which archangel or master or, you know, person it's related to, then the name of the crystal, and it's the meaning of the crystal, the way they have or she has interpreted it. So, and here it says crystal angels, crystal goddesses, crystal masters. So it's also kind of divided into different sections that way, and also with a kind of a magic number. So there's a lot of information, and as I said, a lot of information in the guidebook. So you kind of have to look at it. And then there's the mandala here, and then there's also, like, here is the moon symbol. So there's a lot of symbolism also in the cards themselves. So let's just flip through so you get an idea of what these cards looks like. So for me also, if I were to use this as a normal in a reading, I would kind of course, go to the archangel and also the word down here. And maybe also the number I would use if I did a reading for this, because I don't know enough, as I said, about the crystals themselves. But a beautiful and very different deck, I think. So I'll see if I can use this more in a reading too. It's been a long time since I saw this deck, actually. There's some beautiful mandalas here as well. And for me, every card and mandala and kind of constellation of things will also kind of give off a certain frequency, certain energy frequency. So it's a matter of reading into that as well, I feel. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want this video to become very long, so I kind of have to flip through a little bit faster. Yeah. I do still have a little puppy. She is 4.5 months now. Right now she's sleeping, so I'm able to do a video. So hopefully she will sleep through it. We'll see. Yeah, see, there's many layers of information on each card here. So yeah, a very special deck, I think, and a deck that I think I want to revisit. Very interesting. Crystal Mandala Oracle by Elena Fairchild. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Then we are moving on to the Crystal Medicine Oracle cards by Rachelle Sharman again. Shamanism cards. Okay, it's artwork by Len Hibble. This is also Rockpool Publishing. There you go. So, and there is also an ISBN number, so it's a mass production as well. When I say mass production, I think you can get hold of them on on Amazon or one of the bigger places where they sell stuff like that. These cards are round, which I really like, but let's get into the guidebook first. Also a very good guidebook. It's also in color. It's on kind of a cream yellowish paper. So there's lots of information, and the guidebook is just so beautiful as well. So there is lots of information on each card, and there is a word on each card as well. And then there is, it's divided. Let's see here, card layouts. So you have a daily medicine, past, pressure, present. No, that's the layout of the cards, the readings. Okay, no, that was not the one I was, how to use the card. Yeah, here. There are 5 aspects to each card. The oracle is the main essence. The medicine is everything in nature has a medicine energy to offer. And then the crystal, itself. And then a ceremony that you can do, and then artwork. So that's kind of the way it's divided here. And then there is a content here, so you easily can find what page you need to go to. Okay, so that's kind of the way. So let's just put that aside. But there's lots of information in the guidebook. Lots and lots of information here. Yeah. And the medicine and the crystal and the ceremony. So yeah, there you go. And this is the back. It's kind of a cosmos looking thing. And here are the cards. Grandmother, Crystal Deva, Cathedral Library. It's a place. There's a person, place, the name of the card and the number of the card, and then the artwork. Yeah, I just these are really special images, I have to say. Very interesting. I mean, yeah. They have a kind of a special energy to them, these cards, I have to say, because there's also shamanism cards, so it's kind of connected to what I would call, the natives in whatever country you live in, or to Earth itself, to the old, to the ancient. I feel that kind of in the cards. Yeah, I feel a very strong connection to Earth, when I'm reading these cards, using these cards. But it's, of course, also a connection, of course, to the divine. So it's kind of the balance. I feel balanced when I'm using these cards, when I'm holding these cards. So, yeah. Definitely interested in very interesting cards. I have not been using these crystal cards enough. I mean, these cards are just beautiful, and yeah, I have too many cards. I think I have to start selling some of them. I have been giving away a lot of them from before. So, yeah. Yeah, I really love these cards, but I just haven't been able to use them enough. So, yeah. But definitely I recommend these cards. They are so beautiful. And as I said, the vibe of the cards is so beautiful, and kind of getting back into nature, grounded, and also kind of getting back with the ancient feeling of the ancients. So that's kind of what I feel. So Shamanism cards, Crystal Medicine Oracle by Rachelle Sharman. Okay, that was that. let us move on now to, yeah, let's take this one. Daily Crystal Inspiration by Heather Askinosi. I hope I said that correct. 52 card oracle deck for finding health, wealth, and balance. So there is an ISBN here. This is, it doesn't say who published. Yeah, Hay House. It's a Hay House publishment. So there you go. Just a normal box with the cards, like the normal size, like we know. And here is the guidebook. And there is the author. So here are, okay, so there's no pictures in this one, but there is 2 pages, it looks like, per card. So you get the information you need, straight to the point. Yeah, so there's an information first, a message first, and then there is a core question, and then crystal action. That's kind of how it's divided, the guidebook. And here is the back. Just a lot of crystals. There you go. Cardstock is good. Now, I forgot to mention cardstock on the other cards, but as you could see, all the cards I've, put up so far have been really good cardstock. So, just to have that said. So let's flip through the cards. There's just a picture on a white background, the name of the crystal, and then one interpreted message on the bottom. Plain and simple. So I'm going to go through them quite quickly. It isn't that much information in these cards, but I would use these as a extra card in the end of a reading, maybe, for both advice on crystals to hold or to use for healing or helping in whatever situation, and also a last message from Spirit regarding something. So that's the way I would use it, of course. Or just pulling one card for yourself, every day, and with a hint as to what crystal you can wear that day. It's also a way to use it. Yep, that's that. So there you go. That was the Daily Crystal Inspiration deck. Okay, so let's move on. So this is another kind of crystal, because this is a water crystal oracle, and this is by Masaru Emoto. And he did this experimenting with water, actually, where he took a picture of the crystals after he had given name to the water. He would put a label on the glass of water, and then he would freeze it and then take pictures of the crystals. And what happened is that the crystals change very much if you put positive words or negative words. So he kind of discovered that what intention or what you say to water will influence the water, how it changes and how beautiful the crystals become, actually. So he kind of made it physically shown to everybody that energy will change substance. So that, I thought that was pretty interesting. You can read up on him a lot more. This is him. So yeah, now he did a lot of interesting stuff. So it's a very little guidebook here, but the cards kind of just, it's very simple. It's just, yeah. It's how to use the cards a little bit. Cards of healing, and it just explains a little bit here. And it's divided into different sections, these cards. There are cards of healing, and then there are some cards of power, some cards of wisdom, some cards of the earth. So, yeah. that's the way it is. And the back of each card has the crystal themselves, the image of the crystal. So I'll just show you real quick what that looks like here. You know, and there's so many different kind of crystals, water crystals. So just, you know, a quick flip through of those and what they look like. And then I will show you the front of the cards. Now, as you can see here is healing cards, wisdom cards, earth cards, power cards, you know. So it says on the top kind of what section they belong to. And then he has named the cards. And then there is kind of a little message on the bottom, okay? So that's kind of how the cards are made. But for me, I have used these more for healing. But, you know, you can use this in whatever way you want. You can also just pick out the healing cards and use it for healing. Pick out the power cards and use them for, yeah, gaining energy, you know, stuff like that. So, yep. And it might also be that the earth cards here is a place, like here. Yeah, but yeah, I'll show you. Let's just flip through it. I'm sorry if I'm just being a little bit whimsical here today. So here's the healing card, cranial, Hado, peace of mind. Yeah. The power of spirit, the power of hope, the power of saying thank you. So there is some, yeah. So all of these crystals have then been infused, like this glass was then infused with self-love, and then he took a picture of the crystal and what it looks like. So, yeah, it's very interesting. You have to read up on the story. I'm not so good at explaining everything here, but yeah. So there is information on each card, and you can also, of course, intuitively read the water crystal yourself. If that might be a very interesting way of doing it. For me, I would probably put some of these different crystals as a pick a card. That would be interesting. So people can just look at the image and kind of choose from there. Excuse me. Just gonna have some sip of water. Trying not to cough in front of you. Okay. So this is just, you know, I'm just flipping through real quick here because it's not that much information. But that doesn't make these cards any less interesting. I find them very interesting. Anyways, so that is, I thought these kind of belonged under crystals since it's water crystal. So that's why I included these in this show and tell. So, like, there. So, Water Crystal Oracle by Masaru Emoto. Okay, let's move on now. Let's go to the Healing Stones by Kaya Lemke. It says AGM Urania. I don't know if that's, yeah, that's the publisher. AGM Urania. It does have an ISBN, so it's a mass production as well. So let us look at it. It has a really good thick guidebook here. So, and it got pictures, and it's also with element and astrology. Heritage and healing power. That's interesting. And what star signs they are hooked up to. So there's a lot of information here. A lot of information. Good guidebook. So, the cardstock is on the thinner side, but I would still say that it is good quality. Okay, it's bendy, but not too bendy, I would say. So, this is the back. And let us then look at the cards. Yeah, so here is a lot of information on each card. Of course, the name of the crystal on top, what it is regarding, and a message here. Yeah, so let's just flip through, and also beautiful pictures in this deck, I think. So let's just flip through. A lot of the decks I have not used in readings, but I have just used them for myself, and this is one of them. Yeah, because it kind of gives me more information about each crystal, so I'm kind of learning. As I said, I'm not a crystal specialist at all. That's not my strength. So I'm learning, you know, and still learning. So for me, it has been a good way to learn something more about the different crystals. That's the way I have been using this deck so far. I haven't really been using it in any readings. But maybe now I will, now that I've taken them out. Let's see. Yeah, so a good deck, 33 cards, so a little bit less cards maybe, but still kind of the main selection, I would say, of the different crystals, and a lot of information on each card, you know, for those of us who are not specialists. So for me, then I would definitely recommend this, okay? So that was the Healing Stones by Kaja Lemke. Okay, so let us move on to the Colette Baron Reid, The Crystal Spirits Oracle, a 58 card deck and guidebook, and illustrations by Jenna Della Grottaglia, which is, I think, the artist Colette Baron Reid uses the most. So here we go. Now this, however, is a deck that either you really know crystals or you have to use the guidebook, because there's just the name and the picture and the number, and that's it. So this is the back, but I will show you the guidebook first then, because then that's, you know, really important, and it's a thick guidebook, a really thick guidebook. So let's see, you have, for instance, on Malachite, you have the essential meaning, and then you have a message here, and then you have a relationship message, a prosperity message, a crystal spirit meditation, and that's it. But there is a lot of information here, I have to say, and also in the beginning here. Let's see. Yeah, there are some different spreads that you can use, and some, yeah, different, what do you call it, examples of reading. Thank you. It said they're examples. How to work with the oracle. Yeah. So, and then of course a good overview of the different crystals and where you can find them. So yeah, a lot of information here, I would say. Good guidebook, okay? Which is what you need when there is only the name. But let us flip through anyways, okay? So cardstock is good, matte finish, the normal Colette Baron Reid, I would say, cardstock. So let us look. There's also some images hidden, as you can see here, in some of the images here. Yeah, so you can read intuitively, of course, if you want to. But for me, I have used the guidebook with this one. And mostly just for me, pull a card, read the message in the guidebook kind of thing. So, but of course I can do the same in a reading too, but I don't know, for some reason, I'm kind of the person where I don't like to read so much from the books when I do readings, because, I don't know, maybe in the beginning of a reading or something, but I feel like I lose my track, or I lose my connection, or then all of a sudden I get somebody else's interpretation. I don't know, it's just something, I normally don't do that. Some odd times I have, but not very often, I have to say. Normally I just use my own connection and my own interpretation. So, but of course I could do an intuitive reading of these cards. That I have done quite a bit here. So yeah, anyways, no, I mean, beautiful images, I have to say that, and a lot of crystals. I mean, there's 58 cards here. So it gives you a huge variation of crystals. And a lot of these crystals, you know, I haven't even heard about before. So, so for me, that was interesting, and maybe the reason why I bought this in the first place. Because there were so many crystals to choose from. So, yeah, that's that. But again, a deck that maybe I haven't used so much, especially not in readings. But it doesn't make it any less beautiful. So there you go. The Crystal Spirit Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. So let's move on. We have 3 more decks. So Eternal Crystals Oracle cards by Jade Sky. Now this is a Blue Angel production. 44 cards and guidebook. Artwork by Jane Marin. Opens up like so. And there is a guidebook here. And there's 1 page on each card, but it's kind of small writing, so you get a lot of information anyways. So it says what it's regarding, or what the main focus of the crystal is, and then also what chakra it is related to. Okay, and then you get a message and also a little bit of information about the crystal. So I would say to the point, plain and simple kind of guidebook. Now I actually love this back. I think it's really beautiful, just green and the light in the middle there. Now these are the cards. So here you have the crystal in a little circle, and then you have an image in the back, which is, as you can see, the very often the what do you say? What do you call it? The image of the chakra, rather, and also some more information that you can read into. And then, of course, the name, the number, the name, and what it is regarding, and what chakra it is connected to on each card. So quite a bit of information on each card here, I would say. So let's flip through it. I have to be honest with you, though. I mean, I love the images of this, and I loved it when it arrived, but I haven't used it so much. Not because it's not beautiful, but because it's been just sitting on my shelf, and I've been too occupied with everything else. So I kind of forgot how beautiful they are. Now, that's a shame, because I feel like I have not used them much. They look like they're brand new, you know. Good cardstock, by the way. So these cards I need to pull out more often, that's for sure. But I do also have to go through my collection and start selling some of these, because it's just, yeah, it's too sad when cards just sit on the shelf and never get used, you know. So, yeah. Oof. Makes me feel bad about the stack of new cards I have over here that I'm going to make a video about soon. Oh my god. Okay, anyways. That's my problem, not yours. So, let's see here. Yeah, that was the Eternal Crystal Oracle cards by Jade Sky. Beautiful deck. There you go. And then we have the Archangel and Gemstone Guardian cards by Margaret Ann Limbo. She's also the author of the Angels and Gemstone Guardian cards. And this is a Find Horn Press. And also ISBN. So this is also mass production. Now this one only has the cards, and it doesn't have any guidebook. But there is a reason for that, because there's a lot of information on each card. So this is just the information card on the top. So, yeah. And here you have on the back side, if you will, I don't know what side you could call the back side, but on one side you have the Archangel that it's connected to, and a message. And then on the back side you have the crystal, the name of the crystal, the picture of the crystal, and then also a message here. So, yeah. So I'm not gonna show you these because they are all the same, just different names and different messages, right? So I'm gonna show you where the picture side of it, which I would call the back side, and this would be the front. And I will just flip through so you can see the image and how it looks and which crystals we have in this deck. It's quite a big deck here also. It's got good cardstock, I have to say. How many cards did we say? I didn't say. Did it say here? 44. 44 cards. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah. Huh. That one I haven't seen before. Cool. Yeah. These are beautiful images, I have to say. I'm going to speed up because I have one more deck to show you. But you get the idea on how this works. So this is also a deck that I have mostly used for myself, but not too often. Again, when you're not a crystal specialist, I have a lot of crystals, but I just I have yet to learn everything about them. And that's why I bought all these crystal decks. It was to learn more about them. And I have, but it takes time. I am a slow learner when it comes to that, I have to say. Anyways, put that one on top. So, yeah, but you know, a good deck, it gives some good information and some good messages, both from Archangel and stones, gemstones. So, yeah, I like the deck. I would recommend it, you know. So, yeah, there you go, the Archangel and Gemstone Guardian cards. So let us move over to the last deck for today, which is called Crystals the Stone deck. And it's 78 crystals to energize your life. So it's 78 cards here. Now this one is by Chronicle Books, UK. And there is an ISBN number, so it is a mass production. And it's, you can pull it out like a drawer. If I can pull it out there. So you just pull it out like so. And then there is a slim guidebook, but it isn't really necessary. So how to take care of your crystals, how to express yourself, how to power up, get grounded, set an intention. So this is more about how to work with crystals, I feel. How to honor your astrological sign. Yeah. Meditate with crystals. So there's some interesting information here, but not information regarding each crystal because that comes on the card. Okay. So on the front of the card is just the picture of the crystal itself. So this will be a beautiful deck to use if you were to do a pick a deck, you know, and you just place a picture of a crystal on top instead of the crystal itself. So that might be fun. But this is then the backside. So I'm just going to tell you what's on each backside here. It says the name of the crystal on top, and then it says what it is. You know, what kind of mineral or what kind of crystal. Who needs it? So what do you need it for? Where you can put it on your body or in your house or whatever, and when to use it. And then on the bottom of each card, you have a little message, you know. And so that's kind of how each and every card works in different colors, as you can see here on the back. So I'm going to flip through the images of the crystals themselves, or maybe I should just flip it over so you know what crystal it is. Anyways, okay, so Hidden Night, I'll do like this so you can see both sides, what the name of the crystal is and how it looks, okay? There. It's a good cardstock, by the way. It's a little bit on the softer side. It's got a tiny bit of a rose petal finish. Yes, quite a bit of, I think I need to speed it up a little bit. My camera stops working after 47 minutes, so I'm just going to speed it up a little bit, but you will still be able to see the name. There's lots of crystals here that I don't know. That's new to me. But, I mean, with the 78 cards, you're bound to find some crystals in here that you don't know. So this is, of course, a good deck to get to know crystals, at least the main stuff. Or to look through and see what crystals you're drawn to, and maybe then you can buy it, you know. So maybe a good way to find your next buy. A lot of cards. Oh, Moldavite. I love Moldavite. So that's that. So that is the Crystals The Stone deck. There, and then we slide it in here. So there you go. Let us pull out a little bit here and bring back some of these decks. So I hope that you enjoyed this little show and tell of some of my cards, which is the crystal cards this time. I will be back soon, and I will show you some new decks that I have bought. And I will try and find the next category for my show and tell, as well as I will be back, of course, with some readings for you guys. So I hope you appreciated this little show and tell. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. It will help with the algorithms on YouTube. Thank you so much. Bye for now.